Simon's a flirt, and they start flirting, and they have sex in the sky.
Oh,
for like 3 pages, they are having sex in the sky.
Oh, wow.
Where their clothes are falling down. Simon's already naked in the sky.
Because he had on a hospital gown.
He had a hospital gown. People below in LA are like, oh my God, not again. Because I guess this is a common occurrence where people with powers are doing it in the sky. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Another Relaunch. I am Cosmic Boy.
Oh, he's coming back. Oh, I'm going to be Saturn Girl.
Oh, Diva.
Oh, but not wearing that ugly jacket. Sorry, excuse me.
We'll definitely be talking about that soon. We'll be talking about that soon. Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing good. I just caught up on Vox Machina. Do you watch Vox Machina?
I do.
Yes,
I'm behind, I think, though.
Okay,
shout out to them, though. I'm a big fan of Dungeons & Dragons and all that.
Yeah, it's a really great show. They just released the most recent episodes that you haven't watched. I won't say anything. Let's just move on.
Wait, what is your class in Dungeons & Dragons?
Oh, I tend to go like assassin, rogue type characters. You know, ones that use daggers, but also might switch to a sword every now and again. Poisons, stealth moves. I like a lot of those.
I think I would have guessed. I could have guessed that.
Yeah,
they're more like a fighter. I would have.
They also do a little bit of brawling every now and then, so they can't get like in there. Like, and sometimes they'll switch to bow and arrows so they can have like long range. But I'm not always super into the bow and arrows. It's very specific with me.
You give more dagger throwing than
I'm up close and personal.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this. Well, do you have a preferred class? You're a wizard, aren't you?
No, actually. Far from it.
Magic, but
not a fan of them in there either.
I was like, I want something that's like blasting and flying.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
But close-ish, I guess. I prefer the paladin. High faith.
Interesting.
Some healing, my self-healing energy, energy stuff.
Tends to have a lot of like blocking and like high,
big shield stuff, high defense.
Big shields, Okay.
I gotta be able to survive.
You love a shield, so that actually makes sense. I get that too.
I gotta be able to survive,
I get it. I'm with it.
We should get some Dungeons and Dragons stuff on here and see what's going on there.
I've never actually played the game before a day in my life.
Oh, I've got a party off by play.
There used to be, I used to go shop at this comic book store when I was younger, Closet of Comics, shout out to them. And they used to do like Friday Night Magic. And they also played like Dungeons and Dragons when they played like Magic the Gathering and stuff like that. And I'll never forget like one of the Fridays I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, everybody was at the tables. They was like rolling dice and like some people had on some hats or something. I was like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, it's Friday Night Magic. I was like, I don't know what that means. So I'll just get my books and go. But yeah. That was the experience. Seemed like it was a lot of camaraderie.
I love that. Yeah. I do play. I've got some friends that I play with. But in relation to Vox Machina, like Pike is my favorite kind.
Pike is queen. We do love Pike. Pike is queen. Grog is great. Vexalia, she's rolling. Actually, I love all the team. I only don't like Keyleth.
That's shocking. I feel like you would have liked the kind of the magic girl.
Keyleth is a flop. She always waits to the very last minute before she does anything. She is just like, I don't like her.
A typical magic user.
No, that's not. It's Keyleth. But anyways, we'll continue on.
If you say so. Anyway, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get into these topics then. Okay. Not too much going on the Marvel side, although there were the tickets came out for the Spider-Man movie. I'm not sure if you got yours, but I definitely got mine.
And didn't they release a new trailer?
There was a new trailer that came out. How do you feel about the trailer?
I actually thought it was pretty exciting. It's a lot going on, but Peter Parker is not my jam. But like, I feel like
TM.
this is the movie that I probably feel like has made me the most interested in like what's going on in his life. Like, I think I like the aspect of like the people not knowing him and him just kind of like navigating that. We saw Bruce again, like the Hulk is everywhere. I wonder if they just keep doing that because they can't give him his own movie. So it's like, we just gonna make sure we fit him in somewhere.
That's exactly why. So like legally they can create their own movie, but I believe Universal
Still goes to
those.
Universal.
Yeah, they got those like first rights of refusals. So why would
he
they
just
do
be
it?
everywhere.
But
He just don't need to be.
I believe that the deal with Sony is that when they create these Spider-Man movies with the MCU and with Marvel, that they get to include like Marvel characters. So they're figuring, you know,
Well, he's here.
where else we gonna put?
Where's
Where else
his
we gonna put
son?
Hulk?
And where's his cousin? That's who we want to see.
Yes, shout out to She-Hulk. The son.
Don't do that to.
I don't know about that
Don't be
one.
nasty.
I don't know about that one, but
Nasty.
shout out to Jen. We love her. I did like the trailer a lot. I am still very intrigued by what's going on. I have no idea who Sadie Sink is going to be. You know, the streets are saying Jean, but
You're still not convinced?
it's not that I'm not convinced. I actually do really, really like that they've been keeping this like really under wraps and have not confirmed anything. I think that part's really cool because you really can go into it blind. I do think it'll be hilarious if she's not Jean. That's because so many have had this like expectation of her being Jean Grey that it would be shocking and kind of wild if she was not and she was just
Typhoid and Mary.
yeah. Or some made up character. That would be hilarious.
A new girl. She probably won't be Jean for the movie. She'll be like Alice. Just some girl. And then by the end, she's like, oh, my name's actually Jean. And she floats away.
It's the fact that I can like see it. Don't do that. But it's funny that I could like see it. Her being like, oh yeah, my name is actually Jean, and just flying away.
It's Jean, by the way.
Oh, I never got your name. It's Jean. That'd be kind of wild. I mean, personally, I feel like why not do that if you are Kevin Feige, right? And you do not have full access to the most popular superhero in the world, right? In my opinion, I do think that he is more popular now than Batman and Superman. And I feel like if you don't have access to him, but you have to work with the people who do have ownership of him, and you know your next era is going to be about mutants, why not introduce mutants through this and like use this as a springboard for your own projects? It makes sense to like.
And they're already in the trailer, they're talking about things like, his organic weapon. He's mutating. We see like Bruce making the anti-mutation tech, which is, we know that's going to come in handy for the people later when they want to turn off the mutants' powers. So they're dropping the seeds as they always do. It's feeling a little classic MCU.
Yeah. I'm still interested to see once we get closer if anything actually comes out, or we can really all go into it blind and not know anything. But definitely got my ticket, so we'll be talking about it for sure later on when it comes out. Over on the DC side, there were some announcements for some comics that were going to be coming out later. One is Legion of Superheroes by Joshua Williamson and Hayden Sherman. The Doom Patrol #1 by Darcy Van Poelgeest and Niko Henrichon. Teen Titans #1 by Carl Higgins and Daniele Di Nicuolo. Now, I think those are all three very different books, but some promising things because they're all kind of these like young adult teen books, but they all have their own different types of flavors. Obviously, I'm super excited for the Legion of Superheroes. For anyone who knows me, y'all know that the Legion
You're a
is
Lost guy.
yeah, huge Legion fan. Definitely my favorite DC team. As
So interesting.
as I heard, I am Cosmic Boy down, and I am excited to see where they go with the Lost year. Yeah, it's obviously going to be a reboot. People are already calling it the Josh boot, which, in my opinion, is fine. You know, you can just.
I feel like
it's
that's
better.
kind of like the Legion's thing. Like, there have been so many iterations and like reboots of this group and like what they look like and their designs. I feel like it's kind of baked into their DNA at this point, which I don't necessarily know if that's a good or a bad thing. I don't know. How do you feel about that as a Legion fan?
I feel like their reboots are only baked in because they are so tied to DC, and anytime you change anything to do with Superman with the DC universe, and pretty much a lot of this stuff kind of revolves around Superman, if you can make any changes there, especially with him and as he is Superboy, you have to change the Legion, which that's why all those reboots for them even happened in the first place. Their first Legion of superheroes were just the original Clark Kent. He ends up in the future. He meets the Legion. They become inspired by him. You know, that's the whole story. Then there was the reboot where DC decided that Superman was never Superboy. So he was only Superman. So because of that, they had to reboot the Legion, change that. Then, of course, they changed it again to now they were inspired by Supergirl. So I feel like every time they've restarted the book, they've also decided to just restart the Legion, which I don't think is fair, but I get it. You know,
Yeah.
they always want to have these different jumping on points.
Yeah.
I hope that they don't continue to keep rebooting. I do think that this particular iteration of the Legion coming out with this particular initiative, I don't think there will be too much of a reboot. One thing I've noticed about the DC comics is when they announce something as an ongoing, they'll keep it going. So, you know, if it's a mini, they'll tell you from jump that it's only a mini series in.
And people have been asking for the Legion for a while. I'm like shaky with the Legion. I think the concept can be cool. I haven't found too many of the runs like they don't really wow me away in their execution, but I do like a lot of the characters. I really do love Saturn Girl. I think Hayden Sherman is like a super talented artist. The work that he was doing on Absolute Wonder Woman was like really great. The designs, I get it. That it kind of gives like that futuristic fashion, like this. We have layers and like there's weird shapes and patterns and things like that.
And the fabric is like
the fabric,
not material stuff from Earth. It's like alien.
I get what it's going for. I'm just not really like feeling it on a lot of the people. I think Saturn Girls in particular, it just looks a little messy to me. I kind of get the vision.
Looks good.
I was about to say, I see Cosmic Boys. I kind of get the vision with like Lightning Lad and like how he's got like the jacket with the shoulder pads and like things. Some of them, like I see it. I see what it's going for. It's just varying levels of execution.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think it will look good.
I'm excited to see the story, honestly, and how it progresses, because what we've known so far is that the team is being built. Like they aren't the Legion yet. So that's how we can already know this is a reboot. Typically, the Legion get their start by there's the President Brand, the three, meaning the big three of Cosmic Boy, Saturn Girl, and Lightning Lad. The three of them save the president, and then they start the Legion that way. This story, it seems like the president is actually already killed. Like I don't know if they failed to save him, or if him or her, or if they, you know, it already happened and they're just a different story now. So like the president was killed and that's how the Legion is getting their start. I think that's a really cool twist to kind of put your mark on their reboot.
Are there any Legionnaires that you're excited to see or that you hope will pop up outside of the ones who have like shown up in the comics?
Give me my girl Kid Quantum. I definitely need her. For those on us know, that was the black girl with kind of the force fieldy stasis power. She
had like a purple costume, didn't she?
Yeah, she dates Cosmic Boy. Even though I
She
am
cheated.
also of the. No, she didn't cheat. No, but I am of the group of people who kind of see that Cosmic Boy might be a little,
Oh,
you
gay.
know, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you do got the pink costume. Not that that means you're gay, but
you know. But I do also really like him with Kid Quantum. Maybe they could be a hot little bisexual couple together. Maybe do something new there.
bisexual people
Yeah,
exist.
that is true. I also hope that this Legion run ages them up slightly a bit, but they're not all like kids, and that they're at least out of high school. But definitely Kid Quantum, Kinetics I wouldn't mind seeing them. I'm also a fan of Invisible Kid. Yes, Jacquees, the black one. I do like him. And if they do make this version of Starboy black the way they did in the cartoon, as well as the cartoon is based off of the Mark Waid version. I hope that they kind of fix his powers because in the comics, he can only make things heavier with gravity. He doesn't have like full gravity powers. Just give him the full gravity powers. Like
Gravity powers are high, and a lot of people don't have them.
exactly. And Starboy usually always has full gravity powers. Like I understand sometimes everybody want to do something different and change the powers around. And he gave like Light Lass. She could make things lighter with gravity. Like sometimes it's too much. Just
Just let it be.
Just let it be. But definitely a Starboy for sure. And he was like really close with Cosmic Boy. That would be cool to bring that friendship back around. What about these other books? Are you interested in the Doom Patrol or Teen Titans? The Doom Patrol, the premise seems to be that they're broke now and that they're trying to like get their bearings back together. I've never been that big of a Doom Patrol fan. That's not really a team for me. But it could be an interesting premise. I don't know if they've ever had like, a broke era where they've got to pull back and go from that.
I can't really think of it like a broke era, but I do like the Doom Patrol. I keep up with like their books every now and again. I've read a few. The show was fantastic. I think if you've never seen it, you should definitely go back and watch it. So I'm probably gonna check them out. I love that artist, so I think that'll be fun. I'm also going to be checking out Teen Titans. Jason is leading the Rugrats, so I will be there for them. And then it has Mr. Terrific Son on it, and
Fair play.
Fair play. Yeah, so like we'll get to see what's going on with him, and like I'm interested to see like Jason in this mentor role. Like I actually think like he will be really good at it. I'll never forget when he kidnapped Speedy and like threatened to blow up her school, and it was like this whole lesson about like just needing to be ready and like being a better hero, and it's just like, this is great. She should actually show up.
And it looks like him and Fair Play are kind of beefing already. At least from those covers, they look kind of cool. So that could be an interesting dynamic.
It's going to be good tension. He's going to be great. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see about that team. I think the designs of some of those kids look cool. I do have to say that I am anti-jacket. Like I'm over the jacket thing. Everybody don't need a jacket. Personally,
I think I would like a little bit more variation in our hero attire. There has been a lot of jackets, streetwear, modernity, practicality, and a lot of outfits and costumes that we have gotten lately over the last like decade or so, I want to say. And I think we can go back to being a little bit more fantastical with some of the looks. It helps.
Agreed. I also am never going to be a fan of streetwear as a costume. That's why these Legion costumes to me don't bother me too much. I personally, like I said, I like the alien different kind of aspect of them, as well as I know some people may find it corny, but I'm okay with the whole like my streetwear clothes look like the color schemes of my superhero costume. I get it. It's like just marketability.
Something different.
Right. I like it. But I do think that the super suits themselves don't need to look like streetwear. I'm never a fan of those. Like Superboy, when he used to wear that t-shirt and jeans, be serious.
He was going through something.
He should have not been. It was wild to have that. The shift was jarring to go from there. That's crazy.
Because Cassie started wearing her t-shirt and jeans after he died.
A mess. A mess. You know what? Let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll come right back.
Cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another wonderful week of comics. Now, I had a slightly small pool this week, but I do want to shout out Absolute Catwoman #1 that came out this week, and I know the Absolute Universe is like doing really well. It's expanding. A lot of people are talking about it. It's hot. Call me when they do Absolute Aquaman, and it's Jackson. Oh, and I heard they announced Absolute Batgirl too, which she looks kind of hot. I have to give it to them.
She does look cool.
They might make me add it to my DC Infinite subscription. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
But let's get into the books that we did get this week. A couple of the hot shots. Deadly Hands #5 from Yefan Jing, Paco Medina, and Alessandro Miracolo. Now, this is the end of this mini-series, Lin Lee's journey as Iron Fist. It's been like a quote-unquote tournament. Not very. He did get his arm back, so that was very exciting. All in all, this mini was just like very disappointing. A lot of the characters that they called in to use did not get used. They disappeared for issues on end, barely had any dialogue. The story was kind of just all over the place, a hodgepodge. Towards the end, they just kind of like tried to throw in some little stuff about like White Tiger, her medallion. They said it was made in Kunlun. And she was like, well, who put it there? Like, just randomly at the end of the issue, just one only line she said. It was just like, okay. But it did.
I'm surviving it like this book up. Sorry.
It's not been good.
The White Tiger fans I've seen have been lighting it up. Even the Lin Lee fans aren't seeing it for like, I've seen people like not really enjoying it, which
was really
unfortunate.
Disappointing. And it's like upsetting because you know that Marvel bigwigs are going to use this as an excuse to be like, oh, look, we tried to do something with Lin and like the people didn't like it. And it's like, no, girl, this just wasn't good. Try again. Right. So, whatever. It did solidify him as Iron Fist, though, so that was nice to see. I actually think he would be great in the Midnight Suns, the team that's about to show up in Moon Knight book. Mm-hmm. I think, like, him being a part of that crew would be, like, really cool, especially since, like, Danny's dead. He can't be there. But whatever, that's just me. New Titans #34 also was out this week. That's from Tate Barnball, and Marcus Toad was the guest artist on this. This was an issue spotlighting the Tomorrow Girl, who is the cyborg that Cyborg brought in. He was basically challenging her to like get to know the team. So we just kind of spent this issue with her thoughts and like her going around to the different members and seeing how they're interacting. And like, I'm still having trouble with this. Like, she's trying to talk to Yara and Yara is just listening to her music, completely ignoring her. She's trying to talk to Stephanie and Stephanie is just like fighting away all her problems because she's like, I got to prove myself. Lots of little dynamics that they're building towards there. Again, like, I really like this book. I really like this team. I really like what they're doing. It feels like those classic stories of a group getting to know each other and like, a big mission's coming. Some monsters attack the tower at the end. Starfire does leave the group officially also this issue, so we'll be looking out for her and what she's got coming in the future, hopefully something soon. And X-Men United 4 also came out this week. That's Eve Ewing and Tiago Palma. This book, I'm trying with it. I really, really am. It is not tickling my fancy very much. Iceman gets a couple of the groups together to do like a Dungeons and Dragons inspired mission. It's more like a team building exercise. It's really kind of to quell a lot of the tension that's been going on between Cyclops, Rogue, and Emma particularly, and everything that's happening there. I think I've always said it. Eva's really great with like those interpersonal dynamics, like people and stuff like that. She can do really good conversations, and I think she shines there. I think even some of the ideas of like Bobby trying to smooth things over is really nice. I feel like he has been playing that kind of peacemaker, middleman role for a long time, or at least the last few years. And I see the bright spots, but just like all in all, the book doesn't work for me. And I do feel like some of that just feels like a lot of what's going on in some of the other books as well. It's like, this is the one that's supposed to be this new school that's bringing everybody together. We're getting the chance to see the folks that we don't really get to see. But like for now, I want to say issue 4, all of the characters we've been getting are just the characters who are already in Uncanny and X-Men. And we've already been seeing them deal with their tension in these same spaces and like doing that. So like we come back here to just do it some more. And it's like, this was supposed to feel like something different and bigger with everybody in the school. And you introduced all these like weird people in the beginning with this like hierarchy of like students and mentors and all this stuff. And all we keep doing or focusing on is like these side missions and these side quests. And it's like, okay, that would be fine, but we also are doing that everywhere else. So again, like some bright spots. It's not clicking for me all the way. I said I was going to stay till like issue 5, but I did hear some rumors that it might be ending with issue 10. So I might just go ahead and finish it out. I don't really know. We'll see what happens 5. The solicits came out recently. Blade and Brielle are supposed to make an appearance, or at least Blade is, and they're going to be looking for Brielle. Don't know why she's missing, but we'll have to check that out. So I guess we'll see. I would be here till issue 7 then, I guess at least. Which then I'll probably just finish it till issue 10. So I'll be here till further. We're going to be here. We're going to see how we go. Hopefully it continues to tread up, and that's all we can hope for at this point. The art also is a little, I think like, and this could just be a thing with Marvel as a whole, like in terms of artists. I think there are a lot of like really talented people. It feels like when you have certain books, though, obviously you want to put a certain like level of like talent and status on what this book is supposed to represent. Like if this is your book that's supposed to be big and new and flagship, you would think you wanted to have like newer, flashier, like bigger art. This one doesn't necessarily feel like that all the time, which is kind of disappointing. But it also, the story itself isn't like big and flashy. It is downtime, so maybe it fits perfectly, and I'm just expecting too much. But let's get into our big book of the week. I know it's one you're very excited about. I'm actually kind of excited about it too, because she's on the cover. Wonder Man #4, featuring the fantastic Hellcat.
All right, so this is Wonder Man #4. This is written by Jerry Dugan with art by Laura Braga and colors by Rochelle Rosenberg. And I have to say, Laura Braga, Rochelle Rosenberg, I'm a fan. I like it. I really like what they brought to the book. The colors were great. The art was fantastic. It's again a bit different than what I thought the book was going to be kind of in the beginning, because those first issues, there was 2 artists that they were using to kind of show the flashbacks of, when when Simon first got arrested, and also kind of give that vibe of those like old 60 issues. And then they had the stuff about today. And now this book is a completely different artist, and it's more like modern. And I really do like it. So I was expecting, I guess, the entire mini to kind of be this whole like, flashback thing, but that's not really the case. This issue picks up exactly where the last one left off. As we saw before, the Spot is back again, which I've noticed he's like used a lot. I don't know if it's because like he's just really convenient to use, but I've noticed across a lot of stories right now.
I feel like that's good though. We need those villains who can just kind of like continuously come back and pop up and be a pain in somebody's butt sometimes. It like has the power to do it.
Yeah, and he does. And I guess he's a fun like MacGuffin. You know who he is, and you use his powers to kind of get away with any kind of thing. And last issue, we saw that he was the assassin who came after Randolph, and also Randolph's agent. This time, last issue, he ended up coming after Randolph again back at Simon's apartment. But Grim Reaper was there, his brother. They ended up fighting with Spot. Spot uses powers. The scythe got stuck between all 3 of them. Now, the ambulance comes, picks people up, separates them. Randolph is okay. Hellcat is again like using more for detective skills to be like, something's not right here. I know that like who I really need to go after. She is looking for Randolph's agent. She goes back to his office. He's not there. She had a feeling he wouldn't be there. She thinks that like he's the one behind all of this. She meets up with Wonder Man back at the hospital. She tells him to put his clothes on. He has this fun moment of Simon having his butt out in his hospital gown.
Little booty cheeks.
Little cheeks out. She tries to explain to him, I think I know who's after this. But, Simon's a flirt. And they start flirting, and they have sex in the sky.
Oh.
For like three pages, they're having sex in the sky.
Oh, wow.
Where their clothes are falling down. Simon's already naked in the sky.
Because he had on a hospital gown.
He had a hospital gown. People below in LA are like, oh my God, not again. Because I guess this is a common occurrence where people with powers are doing it in the sky. I guess people aren't like regularly looking up. Right. Well,
I mean, unless it's like something falls on you, depending on how high you are.
I guess out here, everything is up. Like, the Hollywood sign, people looking at stuff like that. I guess
that's true.
Either way, they're like laying on a cloud afterwards, and Hellcat is trying to get Simon to be like, oh, I have an idea. Like, I know who this is. And like, how long is this cloud going to like be there for us? He said, well, first of all, it is not a cloud. It's smog. Remember, we live in LA. There's
a difference.
Which I thought was a fun little nod to LA because the smog out here is insane. But he flies them to this hotel back in Vegas because I guess they had been doing it in the sky that whole time, just floating and doing it, and ended up in Vegas. They get to this hotel, get some like this robes and slippers and some stuff for them to kind of escape and get away. While they look for some clues, Hellcat basically like guides Simon to the point, which I thought was really cute of her being like, and if he did this, then like, don't you think the agent did what? And he was like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I thought that was a really cute moment between the two of them. And they try to make their way back to the agent, but then we see this flashback scene. Well, not really a flashback. They see this other scene of the agent had already met up with Randolph because he caught up with, they had housed Randolph at the West Coast Avengers location. Simon calls Killer Watt. He's like, hey, make sure Randolph doesn't leave. Like, we think the agent is behind all of this. Killer Watt's like, he is behind all this because he got me the Darkhawk role that like, as we've been seeing over the course of these couple issues, that Simon had also auditioned with Killer Watt to get that role. But Killer Watt got it. And he was like, hey, don't let them leave. He was like, oh, it's too late. Like, they already left. We see that the agent was the one behind all of this stuff. And he pushes Randolph out of a plane. And that's where the issue ends, because he said, I don't need you anymore. His entire plan so far had been Randolph had signed over the rights to his voice in perpetuity. Oh my God, I couldn't say that word. So like perpetually, the company owns the rights to his voice, and his agent always gets a cut of that. By the company, I think they're taking shots at Disney, but the company had him recite the entire dictionary so that they can always AI his voice into anything, so that like he can always be used. Like he was like, yeah, so like even after I'm dead, like my voice can still be used and I can still make money. The agent wants that cut, so he figured he can get rid of him. He doesn't need him to be alive anymore. Like, they got the AI voice. So that's been his whole plan now. Hopefully Wonder Man gets to Randolph in enough time to save him during this last issue. I will say that I have really turned my ideas about Wonder Man and Hellcat around.
Okay. In a good way?
In a good way. I used to really call her kind of boring. And I think that she could be fun if we lean more into like the Hellcat magic of it all. I think that would be cool. I would like for her to. Does? Right. But like in this particular miniseries, she's doing it, but in a more like detective way, like in a more human way. The things that she's after are just regular people. She says in the first issue that she's working with the LA police department to apprehend specific things. And I think she also brings up demon hunting too. But I would like to see everything that she's been doing in this, but like on the demon magic side. You know, put her over there with the Midnight Suns. That would be
She
cool.
would be a great addition to the Midnight Suns as well.
I think that would make their relationship kind of pop more. They do need another girl. I think that would make their relationship kind of pop more as far as Simon not dating another superhero. Like, she would still be a quote unquote superhero, but she's in a completely different like lane than he is. And I think that could be hot. I could be behind it. It's getting him away from Wanda. He's acknowledging that he's getting away from Wanda. Also, like, on a more comic book note, I do think that this miniseries is significantly better than some of the other miniseries that I have read recently. Marvel has really been on these kick of like these solo minis, but so many of them to me have felt so inconsequential to the character. That Rogue mini, in my opinion, I was expecting a lot more. Like, if they had gone on longer, maybe it could have given me more. But knowing that it was just a miniseries, like, we knew already that who the villain was. They stated it right at the beginning, and all we got is just Rogue feeling sorry. So, like, we didn't really learn too much more about how her powers have been changing or how she could fix those. If they were fixed back to what they were at the end, it felt very inconsequential. Whereas this miniseries, it feels like a solid Wonder Man mini. Would I prefer forward? Yes, I would prefer more ionic energy powers used, but that's just me. You know, outside of that, he is using his strength and flight and his abilities there. His personality showing. He does not bring up the pacifist thing unless it's like a joke, which I think is great. And it's moving him from just being known with being with Wanda. So I do think that this is a solid mini to kind of move the character forward from a modern standpoint. Yeah, I do.
Where are you kind of like hoping it ends with? Because the next issue is the last one, isn't it?
Yes, the next issue is the last one. The cover looks awesome. Shout out to, I think that's Marcus Chichetto on that cover. It looks really cool. I'm hoping that it lands him in a place of embracing more of the superhero aspect of his life. This entire mini, we've seen a lot of him doing with the acting, and I don't think that that's ever anything that's going to go away. That's just a part of his character. But I hope that it doesn't come into the backseat of the superhero stuff. What I hope is that these antics of like the saving Randolph, his friend from his past, and the Spot showing up, that this kind of incites him to want to return to his superheroing and, you know, saving people that way. And yeah.
Okay. I can see that. What would you rate the book?
I would give this issue for both a comic book standpoint and my fan rating would be a 4 out of 5 for both. Really great.
Very good.
It changed my mind about Hellcat. I kind of like see it for the two of them as a couple now. Like I said, I would like to see her do more like magic-y kind of look, that kind of stuff too, like become this whole Hellcat thing. But that can come.
If you could just read the books that she has, I'll send you a couple.
I guess. She's here now. And I'm riding with Simon, so.
Oh, that's a perfect place. We can go ahead and take it back. Let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll come back.
All right. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the watch section of the show. And this week we watched Superman from 2025, and that is by James Gunn, who both wrote and directed the movie, and produced by Peter Safran, also James Gunn, starring David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Edie Gathegi, Nathan Fillion, Isabella Merced, bunch of actors. You know, this was obviously a rewatch and another rewatch for me. And I have to say, still not really feeling it. I am not the biggest fan of like James Gunn and like his work. So I kind of already went into it like thinking, oh, this probably won't really be for me, but still with an open mind. And the parts of the movie that I just did not gel with were the like glaring James Gunn parts to me, which were the retconning of his parents. That is the Zor-El and what's his mama name? I don't remember his mama name. What's his mama name?
No, I just don't remember her name. Did we ever talk about her?
Yeah, Lara. Laura Van. That's right, Lara. And anyway, the retconning of the two of them with Jor-El and Lara, the like weird image of being painted of Krypton, which I thought was weird. The whole like you gotta go like mate and procreate with people on Earth and do all of that. I thought that was weird. The constantly bringing up of a harem I thought was weird. Like those very glaring and obvious James Gunn things. On
a rewatch, I agree. I did not really enjoy that, and I think I just don't enjoy it because it feels like a way to just make it so like you taint Superman a little bit. And like taint him in the eyes of the people, obviously, to get him to trust him. But I feel like there's already so many other ways to do that. And like that's Lex's whole thing. And then like, sure, yes, Lex does it, but it's like you want to leave it purposely ambiguous. Like, no, like we can just say that Superman's a good guy and like this isn't what he came here to do. And then like this is just the person like trying to go at him. But that might be something for the sequel. But also wasn't a super huge fan of that little bit. I did still really enjoy Rachel Brosnahan as Lois. I thought she was great. I will say upon the rewatch, I don't think I enjoyed the little back and forth with her and Clark as much. Where she was like
interviewing him?
Yeah, as like Superman. I don't know. It just like I felt like on the first time, like it was like, oh, okay, this is a little spicy. On here, it was just kind of like, girl.
I just know that part when Clark was like, people were going to die. I was like, oh, I know. Yeah. I thought you could tell he thought he ate that line. Like, yes.
Like, no, girl, it's not working. But no, I thought she was still really great as Lois. I can't wait to see her come back. I actually still think David Cornswet, is that how you say his name? Cornswet. Mm-hmm. I actually think he's a pretty good Clark. Like, you know, I think he's got like the look for like that Kentucky fed, homegrown country boy in the city. The hair, the glasses, he looks good in the suit. I think he's able to like really evoke like that whole endearing, hopeful, optimistic aspect of Clark. Like I think he fits that very much.
Remember when he asked that guy from Wicked how on they were like interviewing each other, and he was like, how did you still like maintain your masculinity while you were being held by a woman?
Yeah, that was crazy. Very strange question. Don't know what's going on in his mind.
Sorry, I had to light that up for that.
Still also not a fan of the dog. Sorry to all the dog lovers there.
No. Again, another James Gunn thing. It felt very like, we gonna have this animal in here because like, people like an animal.
It also kind of made me like just reevaluate my feelings for crypto in the comics as well, and then it made me realize that like I don't think I actually care about crypto in the comics. No. I just be like, whatever, he's there. Did enjoy the action. Thought that was good.
Superman was fighting
the Justice Gang. And also, and I will say, like, for Superman fighting, I really have learned that I love to just see kind of like Superman wailing on people. There was a clip posted from Justice League Unlimited where he was fighting Captain Atom.
Yeah.
And it was a brawl. Like, and then from the opening,
Superman beat your ass.
Like, truly, just like, once he feels like, oh, you can actually take a hit, like, he like flipped. No, it was great. It was just amazing. So it's like, I think that's always cool to see Clark do. It's just kind of like, I might not be like out here doing the flips and the kicks and all that good stuff, but like these hands work just as well. Okay. You get it. So
straight to that jaw.
Like, boom, boom, boom. So that was really cool to see. Love when Clark does that. So yeah. Rewatch, I don't think my feelings changed too much for the movie. The parts that I did like, I still continue to like. The parts that I didn't. But I think, again, like, James Gunn just isn't really my favorite kind of director. in general. So like a lot of his films, I do feel like they tend to lead the same way. And then like they have a lot of those similar ticks to them that just kind of like turn me off from up. But we'll see. I know he's got another one coming up. Maybe some things will change. It'll be a little different, a little more exciting. Also,
we'll see.
Still not Tech Bro Lex. It's just not for me. Again, I think I said that the last time we first watched it, but like just watching it again, it's just like, yeah, Tech Bro Lex is just not for me. I'm sorry.
This is actually the first time we're talking about it on the show.
Oh, is it? Haven't we said that behind the scenes? Yeah, like Tech Bro Lex, I have just like really, and I don't know, maybe this is just because of nostalgia from the cartoon or just stuff that I've read. I think it could just be the archetype of villain I like as well, because I feel like they did something similar to Sinister, but I just like a really cold, calculating villain as opposed to like the eccentric, like lunacy things. Like I get it has its place. It's just not what I prefer for them. And then I feel like what Jesse Eisenberg has kind of like done for Lex since that BVS movie has really just continued to trickle and take effect. And that's become kind of like the new Lex. And I get it like to an extent. I guess it works for the modern age. You know, those are what's that man? The Tate man who like got kidnapped in Russia or something like that. I mean, like he was in prison in Russia. I don't know. He's one of those guys, the Maxers, things like that.
Got it. Yeah.
You know, those type of people. And Andrew Tate, that's his name.
Got it. I was like, who are you talking about?
I was like, it's one of the tip of my
Tate
tongue.
McRae?
And then I was like, Tate, man, I know you think of Tate McRae. No. Like him, like those type of guys. Like they exist. Like they're weird, annoying. Like, they're there. And it's like, I get it. I just don't know if I like it for Lex.
I would tell you I don't. So like I don't like it at all. The modern take on it is just that, a modern take on it. That doesn't make it Lex to me. Lex to me is like the more businessman than like tech bro, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's not to say that he can't be youthful or be young. I'm just not saying he needs to be like old, but there's a cut to him and like to his aura anyway that I think needs to be like very precise,
straightforward,
yes,
and precise, yeah.
And I don't think that Nicholas Hoult quite gives that. I did see some clips of the filming for Man of Tomorrow, the sequel to this movie. And he is going to be wearing the Lex suit, like the big, bulky Lex suit. I'm not going to hold you, we look cool. Because, like, there's the clip I saw was Superman, like, slamming him down and then, like, punching and wailing on it. It looks cool. So I think that part might be cool, but, like, the, like, businessy, cunning, like, kind of scary part smart. Of Lex. Yeah, the smart part, yeah.
Like, I feel like you should feel like Lex is going to outsmart you, and I don't feel like we felt that for a long time.
No. And I don't know if that's because the old animated cartoons just really hammered that in, but that's just always really, and
even
like
something
Lex
like Smallville, he used to be like, you know, just a little bit more like suave in how he handled things, and like, I don't know. Like I said, it's a different Lex. It's just not the Lex I prefer.
Yeah. What did you think about the whole Barovia versus what was the other place? Jarnpur conflict? Obviously supposed to be maybe Israel in the Middle East. And then I personally did like the idea of Superman kind of being called out because he is going to just, you know, do a good thing in his eyes and going to go help, which doesn't really fix the issue because things are a lot more nuanced than just, hey, everybody put your weapons down.
No, I love a good superhero, like, political turmoil thing. Like, we're going to do something that the government says we can't do because we technically should do it. We could be causing a war and the repercussions of that. Love when those type of things happen. Like, it's my bread and butter. So it was really exciting to see. And I think like a lot of some of the other things of the movie kind of like overshadowed that eventually. But like I think it's something that should still continue to like go about, especially like with World of Tomorrow coming up, and it's like probably just going to be more of a worldview anyway. Like that should still be something in the back of people's minds. Like Superman did this thing that's really not good, and like we got to do something about it.
Yeah. I thought that part was interesting. The added effect of like the like wormhole thing and Metamorpho. I'm just really sure why we needed to have them there outside of just adding Metamorpho into this movie.
I like Metamorpho. I'll take it.
That's fair then. The Justice Gang showing up when they were fighting that big creature was interesting. Not really the biggest fan of how they went about it. Like the whole stabbing of the eye thing I thought was weird. And
Hawk Girl did not live. Sorry.
Me neither.
Was not for
the screeching. I didn't understand it. Didn't really need it. Also wasn't sure why her and not any other character besides like why Hawk Girl?
I mean, they do like JSA stuff. The Hawks have been there.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. How'd you feel about Mr. Terrific?
I thought he was a lot of fun. Great actor.
Cool.
Thought he came out like a nice little straight man to the antics that were going on.
Yeah. I hope he finally gets to rest from all the Darwin jokes and the Darwin meme. Yeah. I hope he gets to have something else because he did look really cool. The mask looked really awesome. Yeah. But overall, I thought the movie was, again, just...
I rated like a 7.
Okay.
Like fan and critic. Like, I think it's a solid movie. I think if you enjoy James Gunn stuff and like the type of stories he tells, you're really, really, really going to enjoy it. I think if you just want like a nice little feel-good movie to watch, don't Superman.
You know, I give it a 6.5 for both fan and critic.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, that brings us to the end of the... Wait. Are there anything that you want to see in the sequel?
Not really. A lot of, I was always a super hater at the beginning. I've recently only gotten to Superman over the last few years, so there's still a lot of stuff that I don't know about, and a lot of the things that I have been reading and liking are like way too far in the head for anything that they would be doing in Superman.
Right.
I do like Brainiac though, so if he shows up, Corey, that's gonna be fun.
I think he was supposed to be the villain there.
I think he is. So that should be good.
But then there was also stuff about like Maxima being a villain, and Maxima whole thing is like she's basically the same like strength and powers as Superman, but she's from a world where she needs to like procreate, so she is trying to track down Superman and like have sex with him so she could have his kid. And I could see
maybe it's a little bit of
it's giving James Gunn.
We'll be surprised.
I don't know. I personally, I would hope that I would like get some kind of hint of Connell, get some Connor in there. That would be nice. But the way this universe is shaping up, who knows if we'll even get that far.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the show. Please make sure you guys rate and subscribe us wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to us on most podcast platforms at Another Relaunch. You can find us on most social media platforms at Another Relaunch. You can email us at anotherrelaunch@gmail.com. You can watch us on YouTube at Another Relaunch TV. You can find me on most social media platforms at UncannyLZ. Keenan, where can they find you?
You guys know you can find me at Keenan Lights. Keep the _ at the end.
Period. All right, y'all. Let's get up out of here, and we'll catch you next week.
Peace.
Peace out.